Okay, so we are live now. Merritt, to start off, can you please introduce yourself, your job and your title, and your connection to Stanford?
Sure. So my name is Merritt Baer. I'm the CEO and co-founder of TodayTix. I was a Stanford graduate in 2007, double majored in economics and drama.
Okay, so what activities were you involved in at Stanford? And specifically, I know you're involved in theater. How did that influence your Stanford experience?
Sure. So I was involved in a lot of, I think, student activities. I think the biggest one was Ram's Head. I was in a bunch of shows as well as directed spring musical my sophomore year and senior year. Um, yeah, I think that was kind of the biggest thing.
Nice. You were a drama major? How did that influence and econ? How did those two together kind of influence your career path?
I think being a drama major and Ram's Head member gave me the opportunity to really think about to see theater differently, right? To think about it not just from the perspective of an actor, but learning the opportunity of producing and directing and being involved in the business end of things. And obviously, as a double major between drama and economics, it felt like a really natural fit for me to be involved in the business side of theater. After graduating, I got involved in finance for a while and the startup world, but then kind of got my feet wet in producing Broadway shows. And now TodayTix is a mobile app that sells last-minute Broadway tickets and theater tickets for any time today this week. So we've launched in New York, London, San Fran, Chicago, LA, DC, Boston, Connecticut, and a bunch more on the way.
Nice. So you mentioned you kind of got up into the startup world a little. So I was wondering how Stanford influenced your career path, maybe in a way it would not have if you didn't go to Stanford.
Sure. One of the classes I took at Stanford was I can't remember. It was in the entrepreneurship department, and I think I took a couple classes that really kind of gave me the base work for being interested in entrepreneurship, starting my own company, and thinking about. And I think that obviously being right in the heart of Silicon Valley, with so many other major tech icons and venture capital firms. Was a really amazing starting point for which to get my kind of feet wet.
Great. So can you talk a little bit about how you got the idea for TodayTix, how you started it up, what was your last job before this?
Yep. So I started TodayTix. I started full-time in 2013. And at that point, I produced a handful of Broadway shows and I worked for a startup in ticketing live events in Europe for a few years. And I think I spent so many mornings and so many hours with my student ID waiting in lines outside theaters for student discounts, or waiting in the THS line in Times Square, or joining Broadway show lotteries, or trying to find out the best way to access discount tickets growing up. And at the same time, in 2013, I was a 20-something who was surrounded by young mobile innovators like Uber and Hotel Tonight and Airbnb and Seamless and OpenTable, et cetera. And I just kept thinking, why is nothing like this happening in my industry? And I think that really gave me the impetus to start my own company and create TodayTix.
Nice. How has it grown from when you started it to now?
Well, we started, it was just me and my co-founder alone in a tiny two-person office, and now we have 40 full-time employees in New York. We have a team in London. We are currently selling about 4% of all the tickets on Broadway, and we have about 1.3 million users. So that's come a long way in the last 2.5 years.
Nice. And what do you think makes TodayTix special for its employees? What is the culture there?
I think we have a really great atmosphere that certainly encourages and focuses on the arts, but is incredibly collegiate. We have nights out on a regular basis. We have team lunches and team dinners. We have offset events, regularly going to theater. And I think we all are passionate about the mission of TodayTix, which is broadening access to great theater and making theater more convenient, particularly for millennials. As a 31-year-old currently, certainly the age demographic of late 20s to early 30s is one that's certainly important to me. And I know that so many of my peers and friends in a vast majority of other industries don't think about theater as a great opportunity for both entertainment and a valuable part of the arts for their life. And so by making access more convenient and more accessible, I think we have a mission that has rung true with a lot of a particular type of candidate, whether they're involved in marketing, or they're involved in tech, or they're a developer, or they're in product. I think we have something really kind of special and unique to offer people.
That's great. You mentioned a little bit the different departments. What different kind of sectors do you have in TodayTix?
Sure. So we have a product team that helps design and build and analyze the product itself, the mobile app, our website, our other properties. We have a marketing team that manages the global marketing of TodayTix. We have a development team, which encompasses our back end, our front end, our website, our data. We also have an expansion team that helps us think about expanding to new markets, and leaving everything out, and as well as our ticketing operations team that manages ticketing operations and customer service.
Great. What types of people are you generally looking for at TodayTix, both in terms of like engineers, people with a background in theater and finance, and also just type of personality?
I think we're always looking for people who are hungry and passionate, right? People who want to make a difference and feel that our mission speaks to them, are great candidates, but also people who are intellectually curious and love solving problems and love working with a group of ambitious people who have really broad, ambitious goals and want to make a difference. I think we're always looking for great developers, whether it be back end, mobile, web. I think we're always looking for great additions to our marketing team, expansion team, and obviously Broadway and theatrical ticketing operations. Yeah.
Nice. What personally is your favorite part of working at TodayTix?
My favorite part of working at TodayTix. I think it's been getting to see, in a company that's goal is to disrupt the ticket buying process for theater and broadening access. I think it's being able to see the difference we're making on our customers as well as millennials in general. 91% of our customers say they now see more theater because of TodayTix. I think it's a really gratifying fact as both an entrepreneur and a producer, and as just a fellow theater goer. I think that's inspiring and exciting. But I think meeting with individuals who use the app and have told me I could never afford to see take my family to see a show a year, and now because of you guys we see theater every couple months, whether it be in New York or London or any of the other cities we're in. I think those interactions are incredibly meaningful. And I think on the flip side, also working with some of our partners to help them really broaden awareness. One of our most meaningful partnerships is the Public Theater. And when I was a student at Stanford, my freshman year, my summer internship was at the Public Theater. And the Public has a great partnership with the Stanford Drama Department. And, I got to work with them as a production assistant for one of their pre-Broadway productions. So I think it's been really gratifying to me to continue my own personal growth and relationship with some of the organizations that started my time at Stanford as a student. But I think for all of our partners, encouraging new audiences and audiences who may not have known about their work, or even those who did know but didn't get a chance to see it. I think that's been really exciting as well.
Great. That's fascinating and very enlightening. Are there any, to kind of end it off, are there any positions or opportunities you'd like to let Stanford students know about for either the summer or the near future?
Sure. Yeah, so we always have opportunities for either internship or full-time positions, particularly in tech. for developers. Again, back end, front end, mobile, web, etc. But also, I think we're always looking for great people for our ticketing operations team, which all it's in is a kind of great attitude and a passion of wanting to help our customers and do great work on a daily basis. As well as in our marketing team, I think we always have opportunities available for people who want to help get the word out for TodayTix and for the shows we represent. Yeah. And of course, we're always looking for people in all roles. So, if you're a great candidate, reach out to us directly on our website, and hopefully we'll get you in shortly for an interview.
Great, thank you. Is there anything else you would like to tell Stanford students before we wrap up?
Thanks so much. One of the things I learned as a Stanford student after graduating that I think I wish I had understood better as a student, and you hear it all the time, but it's so hard to grasp, and that is the people around you, alongside you, in classes, in your dining hall, at a dorm event, sitting next to you in econ class, sitting next to you at freshman orientation. Those people will end up being your colleagues and peers, for many years to come. And you will sit across from them in a venture capital meeting. You will be hiring them. They will be hiring you. Regardless of what field you're in, you're lucky enough to be sitting alongside, in your class alone, 1,600 plus people who could very much have a major impact on your future and your job opportunities in your career. And don't underestimate that. I think it's very easy when you're a student to get caught up in the drama of your friendship circle or what class you're in, and it's great to kind of take a step back and think about a lot of these people, not everyone, but a lot of these people I'm going to be, seeing, working with, asking for investments from, etc., for the next many, many years of my life. And I know I'm lucky enough to have some of my classmates as investors in TodayTix. Some people I went to Stanford with who work at TodayTix. People I asked for advice when I was starting. People who now work at theater companies that we help sell tickets for. So, completely wide range of ways of how you might encounter these people later. Take time to foster and build those relationships now, because they will be incredibly valuable to you throughout your days.
Great. Thank you so much. And thanks for joining.